Item Number SCP-209-DE. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-209-DE is to be contained at the premises of Site-DE-9, with sensors around the entity having to observe the anomaly's activity, and, if necessary, give alarm in the case of atypical behavior. Should additional instances of SCP-209-DE be discovered, they are to be pacified using luminous sources that emit light with more than 100 lux luminescence, and under constant illumination be transferred to Site-DE-9 for containment. It is of importance not to look at the screen of an active instance. When discovered, SCP-209-DE is to be contained inside of frozen storage. Instances of SCP-209-DE may solely be handled via drones. Direct contact with humans is strictly permitted. Description: SCP-209-DE was an entity with the appearance of a man in a black leather jacket, blue jeans, and a white t-shirt. Instead of a head, the entity wore a stained CRT TV, and was surrounded by 5, 6, 5, 7, probably 58 persons, holding on to it and each other. At present, the anomaly is 4 meters high, and weighs about 3 tons. Instead of moving like a group of humans, this group acted like one single organism, but it never divided. At the moment, SCP-209-DE is one large mass of amorphous flesh and bone that it seems to form how it pleases. A stained CRT TV is embedded in this biological construct. As long as it is exposed to an illumination level of above 100 lux, SCP-209-DE stays immobile and cannot be injured by any means known to the Foundation. In this state, the television shows the images of several television channels around the world, with it switching between those every few seconds, and plays their audio tracks. In this case, it is independent whether the channel can be received at its position or not. If the light around SCP-209-DE falls below 100 lux, SCP-209-DE becomes active and begins to move. It can be injured with conventional weaponry in this state, though it does not appear to possess any pain perception, and, even in this state, the television could not be damaged. If parts of its union decrease, they certainly begin to decompose, but remain as an active part of the body as long as they are able to evade cohesion. The screen and speakers are emitting static noise in this state. The glow of its own screen does not appear to cause rigidity in this state, and additionally functions as a cognitohazardous material, paralyzing observers until it vanishes from their sight. SCP-209-DE has never been observed to consume any nutrition. However, it is known that, in this state, it hunts down humans to add them to its union. The anomaly displays great speed and agility in this regard, that should normally be impossible to such a mass according to laws of biophysics, and overcomes even huge obstacles by imposing its gathered mass, whether amorphous or human, as appendages. During a containment breach, SCP-209-DE could be observed improvising cutting weapons to break down steel doors. If SCP-209-DE detects a human, it will drag the latter in front of its screen, keeping him there for several minutes, before the victim seemingly gets converted to an additional component. When SCP-209-DE still consisted of a human group, it was impossible to remove a person from the Union without killing it. In hibernation, extraction and resistance of the object has been impossible, and is hardened by the object's resistance and environmental factors. Although it was successful to remove one of its victims from the compound, the subject instantly died. Autopsy concluded that sudden brain failure has been the cause of death. Further experiments of such nature have not been undertaken, as this extraction had cost the lives of 3 task forces. Discovery: SCP-209-DE was discovered when Foundation crawlers came across a case of 5 disappearances of persons in the Federal Police's database. Though the victims were found by the authorities, they were already in the compound of SCP-209-DE that had hid inside a huge bay tunnel, apparently surprised by daylight shining on it through holes in the ceiling. As the entity has proven itself to be indestructible, the Foundation intervened and sent the anomaly to Site DE-19 for containment. Its abilities were recognized during loading, with the anomaly ripping off the loading hatch. But SCP-209-DE could not leave the truck. An agent with a flashlight was thereupon dispatched to illuminate the entity, and covered the opening with a tarpaulin. In the site itself, SCP-209-DE was shipped into its cell with a forklift, and continuously illuminated through headlights. Incident 209-DE. In the night of, a wide power outage occurred inside Site DE-19, caused by some previously undetected instances of SCP-056-DE, according to subsequent investigations. Although emergency lockdown was initiated, constraining several anomalies, but some of them, including SCP-209-DE, managed to escape. En route, the anomaly broke into the Class D quarters, consuming all persons therein, before escaping the site, and settling inside an abandoned factory hall at the outskirts of Koblenz that was used as a safe house by the local homeless people. Due to the daytime, no lights were on inside the hall, thus SCP-209-DE apparently managed to absorb almost every person inside. Eventually, the Foundation located SCP-209-DE based on testimonies by the survivors. SCP-209-DE was found on the ground floor, where it has been pacified by daylight. It no longer consisted of persons, but bones, and an amorphous, fleshy mass. But the television was unaltered. The clothes of its victims were found spread around the anomaly. SCP-209-DE had placed itself above a hole in the floor, through which cables consisting of copper, insulated with rubber, led to the lower floor. Each of the cables were attached to one of 58 activated tube televisions, lying on the floor, inside of the room. The televisions were either turned on to a specific channel, or simply showed static. They were classified as SCP-209-DE-1. Following improvement of containment procedures, SCP-209-DE was shipped to Site DE-9, and simply unloaded the grounds of the pocket dimensions, as no day-night cycle is present inside SCP-250-DE-1. Since then, the anomaly has not moved, except for experimental purposes, the latter concluding that the anomaly still hunts humans, but now irretrievably absorbs them into its mass. Specimens of SCP-209-DE-1 remain in their active state, after having been disconnected from SCP-209-DE, but showed no further activity. During removal, it was found that one instance was missing. Additionally, Agent Jensen could no longer be found. Containment procedures were subsequently adjusted due to suspected cognitohazardous effects.